When you think about a company's most valuable asset, what comes to mind? Is it the fancy office buildings? The money in the bank? Nope, it's knowledge. But I'm not just talking about random bits of data. We're talking about something powerful, something curated. So today, we're going to look at the blueprint companies use to build this incredible asset, and, just as important, the fortress they build to protect it.
I mean, let's be real. We are swimming in data. Reports, emails, metrics, it is just everywhere. But here's the thing. All that information doesn't automatically make a company smarter. The real trick, the real challenge, is turning all that noise into a real strategic advantage. It's about building a company that doesn't just have data, but one that actually learns and grows from it. So, what's the secret sauce? How do they do it?
Well, you can bet they're not just winging it. Successful companies use very specific frameworks. You can think of them like blueprints for building intelligence. Let's dive in and check out two of the most powerful blueprints they use.
Okay, don't worry about trying to read everything on this slide. We're going to unpack it all piece by piece. All you need to see for now is that these are two totally different ways of thinking about building knowledge. One is like a circle, a continuous loop that's always flowing. The other, it's a straight line, kind of like a factory assembly line. Let's start with the cycle.
So first up, we have the Knowledge Management System, or KMS for short. And the single most important word here is cycle. This is not a one-and-done deal. Think of it more like a company's circulatory system. It's this living, breathing loop that is constantly creating, improving, and pumping knowledge to every single part of the organization. It makes sure nothing valuable ever gets forgotten or lost.
Let's walk through this. It all starts with creation, a new idea, a fresh piece of research. But this next part, capture, is absolutely crucial. This is where you take that tacit knowledge, all the brilliant stuff that's just in an expert's head, and you write it down. So imagine your top engineer finds a clever fix for a recurring bug. Capturing it means getting them to document it, maybe in a how-to guide. Then you store that guide in a central database where anyone can find it. But it doesn't just sit there collecting dust. It needs to be refined. Other people use it, they add their own tips, and make it better. Then it's managed, kind of like a librarian organizes a collection, keeping it neat and up to date. And finally, you disseminate it. You share it out so everyone can use it. And then, the best part? That shared knowledge sparks a whole new round of creation, and the cycle begins again. It's a really elegant, continuous loop.
All right, so if the KMS cycle is like a library that's constantly lending out and improving its books, there's a totally different way to look at this. Enter the knowledge value chain. This is much more like a factory. It's a straight-line process that takes raw, messy data in at one end and step by step turns it into a valuable, polished product at the other, a smart business decision.
This model, which we can call ASDA, has 4 really clear steps. It all starts with acquisition. Let's say you collect thousands of customer surveys. That's your raw material. Next up is storage, and this isn't just about dumping files in a folder. It's about organizing that data with smart tags, like customer feedback or Q3 sales, so you can actually find it later. Now, the next step, dissemination, is key. This isn't about spamming the whole company. It's about precision. The super detailed feedback report goes to the product team, while the one-page summary goes to the CEO. You get the idea. And finally, application. This is the payoff. This is where the magic happens. The product team uses that feedback to build better features. The raw data has officially been transformed into action.
So you've used these blueprints to build this incredible asset, this treasure trove of organized, valuable knowledge. But guess what? Anything valuable is going to attract thieves. And that brings us to the second equally critical part of our story. How in the world do you protect it?
Which, of course, leads to the million-dollar question, the one that keeps CEOs and security chiefs up at night. In this hyper-connected world, can you ever be 100% secure? The short and kind of sobering answer is, nope, not a chance. Now let me tell you why.
So why is the shield always a little bit cracked? Well, because the attacks are coming from every single direction. You've got evolving threats. Hackers are literally always inventing new ways to get in. There are system vulnerabilities, which are basically hidden bugs in the software we use every day. Then there's the biggest one of all, human error. That password that's way too simple, or that one accidental click on a fishy-looking email. It's not even just you. Your partners can get hacked, those are third-party risks, and your data gets exposed through them. You've even got insider threats to worry about. And if you look to the future, you've got wild stuff like quantum computing that could potentially break the encryption we all rely on today. It is a constant siege.
Right. I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty grim. But hold on. It's not all doom and gloom. Just because perfect security is impossible doesn't mean we're helpless. Not at all. In fact, the strategy just shifts. If you can't stop every single attack, you become resilient. You build a defense so strong that it's just not worth the effort for the bad guys to even try.
Yeah, exactly. The goal isn't some mythical, unbreakable fortress. The goal is to build a fortress that's so strong, so layered, and so annoying to breach that attackers just throw their hands up and move on to an easier target. So how do we build that fortress?
Here are the 4 pillars, your security checklist, if you will. First, encryption. You see that little lock icon in your browser? That's HTTPS. It scrambles your data so snoops can't read it. Second, and this one is huge, multi-factor authentication, or MFA. That little code you get on your phone or your fingerprint scan, use it. It's the best defense against stolen passwords. Third, stick to secure platforms. Use the official app stores, use trusted websites. This is basic, but so important. And finally, for goodness sakes, do your regular updates. Those pop-ups aren't just for new features. They are patching the very holes that hackers love to exploit. Don't skip them.
And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. Building knowledge and protecting it are 2 sides of the exact same coin. You simply can't have one without the other. Creating a brilliant knowledge asset is totally pointless if you can't protect it, and having fantastic security is meaningless if you have nothing of value to guard. They are completely and totally intertwined.
So we'll end with this thought. From your company's biggest secrets all the way down to your own personal data, your knowledge is one of your most valuable assets. After seeing the blueprints and the checklists, the only real question left is for you. Are you building that asset with intention? And maybe more importantly, are you doing enough to protect it? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.